Today I'm going to be showing you some World War II US Navy and Coast Guard uniforms. Down here is a Chief Petty Officer Machinist mate, khaki uniform. It's a bosun's mate, 3rd class. I believe that guy was on the Missouri and Wisconsin battleships. There's a gunner's mate uniform, a couple of amphibious forces uniforms. I believe that rate is a metal worker. I'm not exactly sure on the title of that. Then we have a minesweeper yeoman 2nd class, a Seabees machinist mate 1st class, another amphibious forces uniform. Got a radio man, quartermaster, aviation machinist mate, aerial gunner, engine man, and a cook, another minesweeper. Got a couple aviation undress uniforms there. That is a cook uniform. Even has a mess cook apron, which you don't see because no one really cares about that stuff. I got the hats that go along with that. Over here, this is actually a pre-World War II uniform. This is probably from the 20s. It's a dress white radio man, torpedo man's striker. It's a Navy marksmanship badge. This uniform was discontinued in 1941, I believe. Got a quartermaster on there, a couple of Navy visor caps, Navy and Coast Guard. That's the gray, working gray uniform, short-lived World War II. This guy was in the Battle of the Atlantic, noted by the A star, or the A pin on the American Defense Medal, I believe. This guy was a steward on a LST, I believe the USS Thomas Jefferson. He was black, so he was only able to be a steward during the war. That's just some cobwebs, dust on the uniform there. That's a Coast Guard port security uniform. It's a pretty rare one. This guy was a aviation storekeeper. I believe this uniform is also named to someone who was on a tugboat during the attack on Pearl Harbor. This is an interesting Chief Petty Officer uniform. Storekeeper, something like that. But a Seabees badge is on the Chief Petty Officer uniform. Chief Petty Officers were not supposed to wear shoulder insignia like that on their uniforms, but apparently this guy didn't care. This is a nice aviation machinist mate, motor operator uniform. This guy was likely promoted to a chief during the war, so he never updated his uniform. This is a Coast Guard storekeeper uniform with bullion insignia. Forgot to mention that these are silver bullion wire on these rates here. Down here, this guy was a Coast Guardsman on a LST at Okinawa, Iwo Jima in the Philippines. That's him right there. Maurice J. Jean. This guy was also on an LST at Okinawa, Iwo Jima in the Philippines, and also somewhere in Europe, I think Operation Dragoon. This is him here, holding the captured Japanese machine gun. This guy was on the USS South Dakota battleship. This guy was on the USS North Carolina battleship. A very important item in my collection. This uniform was a guy who was most likely on Wake Island, in the defense of Wake Island. And that's a fireman's uniform with some nice Liberty cuffs. And here's the other side of some of these uniforms. Aviation ordnanceman. Alright, and those are my US Navy uniforms. US Navy and Coast Guard. Thanks for watching.